This is Ryan Watches a Movie, where we get our friend Ryan to watch a movie and tell us what he thought.
Going balls out in the lumberyard, watching the grunion crawl. Magi. Little kids got naked and had lots of sex. Don't even waste your time.
Hello and welcome to Ryan Watches a Movie. This is episode number 93. My name is Adam. With me today we have Ryan. How are you?
Magi.
We don't have Kevin with us today because we had to flip the recording schedule around a bit, but we're gonna.
We don't have anyone else with us because no one else likes us.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the gist of it. What movie did we have you watch this week?
The Starving Games.
The Starving Games. Picked this in honor of the Hunger Games Catching Fire coming out this week. I do have a synopsis here. In this Hunger Games spoof, Can't Miss Evershot must fight for her life in the 75th annual Starving Games, where she could also win an old ham, a coupon for a foot-long sub, and a partially eaten pickle. This is directed by Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer. The tagline, which I just wanted to read real quick, all the laughs, half the calories. Hilarious. I have a little clip here that we can play. Let's give this a listen. This is the Starving Games.
It's a nice shot, can't miss.
What are you doing here?
Practically show up at the end of every movie.
Superhero movies, yeah, but...
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. We could use some fresh young blood. I mean, shit. Just how many sequels to Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America can we make, right? And you're pretty handy with that bow and arrow.
Nick, the bow and arrow's sort of my thing.
Shut your ass, Hawkeye. You're lucky you even in the Avengers.
Yep.
And don't you think for one goddamn minute that Marvel is going to spin off your character. Hawkeye, Cola, the Avenger nobody gives a shit about will definitely not be coming soon to a theater near you.
Well, one thing I can say about that clip is that guy does a pretty good Samuel L. Jackson impersonation.
Yeah, he sounds more when I hear him.
Yeah, he doesn't look like him.
No.
But he really sounds like him.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Starving Games?
Well, obviously it's supposed to make fun of the Hunger Games. And I've never seen the Hunger Games, so I couldn't really compare it. But it's basically a movie where they pop fun at everything that's current in culture.
Mm-hmm. Now we had you watch several of these movies, I think, including some that were directed by these same directors, but we'll come back to that.
Yeah, I recognize that Seltzer guy's last name.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. So why don't you tell us about what happens in the movie as far as the plot?
Basically this girl's sister, by the way, her name is Can't Miss Evershot. And I don't know what the real character's name is in the other movie.
It's Katniss Everdeen.
I wonder if it's supposed to be like a play on words or...
Yeah. Because she's good with a bow and arrow. Can't miss Evershot.
And... There's not really much. I mean, this girl gets victory on the Hunger Games and gets a partner, or in the Starving Games, I guess they would be, and gets a partner, and they go into the games, and there's a bunch of zany shit that happens to different people, and at the end they finally go to kill the guy who's filming the Hunger Games, and instead he uses Siri from an iPhone. He uses her to break out what they call the big guns, and it's like supposed to be like through the Avengers, the characters from Red. Yeah, there's a bunch of people on this, but I did notice that even though like when they have the characters from Red, they say their real names like Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone, or Schwarzenegger.
You mean...
No,
wait, sorry. You mean The Expendables?
yeah,
Not Red.
not Red. They don't look anything like it they're supposed to be. And to me, they don't really sound like them either. So, it just goes to show how small the budget was for this movie. Which I'm also sad that I can't look up because according to Wikipedia, this movie doesn't even exist.
It looks like some of these people were actually like impersonators. It looks like, well, at least the Stallone guy, the guy that plays Stallone, Jade Roberts, looks like he's actually an impersonator.
Wow. I guess they sort of sound like them. They kind of like have the same body shape, but that's where it is.
I mean, I can see the similarities between a couple of these people, but I guess it should be noted that Diedrich Bader plays President Snowballs, who in the Hunger Games movie that's played by Donald Sutherland. That character.
Diedrich Bader's in all these crazy movies that make fun of everything else.
Yeah, he is. He does seem to be in a lot of these. So we already heard the Avengers. Obviously, the movie as a whole is spoofing the Hunger Games, and you mentioned Siri. Are there any other kind of like pop culture things that it makes fun of?
They like the Expendables in it. The Deus Ex guy is in it.
Oh God.
There's someone else.
I noticed somebody here. His name is Avatar. Did they make fun of the movie?
Yes.
Avatar.
That's what I was thinking of. Avatar.
Okay. So what did you think of it?
It was terrible. It wasn't. I mean, I'll watch it twice, but that's because it was only an hour and 15 minutes long.
So you didn't watch it again just to like get the jokes that you missed?
No.
This isn't a movie that would go over your head.
Yeah, I sort of, because I've never seen. Oh, they make fun of Harry Potter as well.
Yeah,
I've never seen any of them. I've never seen most of the stuff they make fun of.
I did watch probably the first 5 minutes of this, and the way that they film it, they try to make it look very similar to the Hunger Games, and a lot of the jokes, I could tell that a lot of the jokes they're like direct spoofs of the Hunger Games. So yeah, there's probably a bunch of stuff that you didn't pick up on since you didn't see the Hunger Games, but I think that kind of makes it better.
Kind of makes me want to watch the Hunger Games, though, in order to get all the shit they're making fun of.
It's funny because we, on the show and on the site and everything, we make fun of these young adult movies and stuff a lot. And I think for the most part, they really are terrible. But if you go back and you listen to the episode where Kevin and I review the first Hunger Games, we were okay with it. Like, we didn't hate it. Neither of us did, not even Kevin. And he admitted on the show this week that he's probably going to go see the sequel. So, you know.
I'm going to call Kevin a teenage girl from now on.
I mean, I'll be seeing the sequel also. So let's talk about the directors, Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer. They did a whole bunch of these, a whole slew of these spoof movies. They did Vampires Suck, Disaster Movie, Meet the Spartans, Epic Movie, Date Movie. I think we had you watch Vampires Suck.
Yeah.
I don't know if we had you watch any of the other ones.
No, but I think I've seen most of them by myself because I'm generally bored and looking for a laugh, and
But at this
it
point,
usually doesn't happen.
yeah, at this point, don't you think that you would know that it's not gonna that these movies are not gonna generate any laughs?
Yeah, I'm more aware of that now. Back when Scary Movie came out and all that.
Yeah, I mean
And
these guys were writers on the whole Scary Movie series, up to 4, and I think the most recent one was 5. Right? Do they have?
I think
Oh no,
so.
I'm sorry. I take everything back. They're just credited as writers because of the characters. So they actually only wrote the first Scary Movie. But either way, I mean, what happened to the spoof movie? Remember when spoof movies used to be huge? Like,
Yeah, because there weren't a fuck ton of them.
but they
Now
were
they're
just different.
trying to make money off of everything, and
Like
they
when
don't care how terrible they are.
you compare a Naked Gun movie or Airplane or even Hot Shots to something like this, I mean, it's just this is complete garbage in comparison.
Like I said, I think in my opinion it's for money and that's it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. Because the new one, I mean, this, and plus this just came out, like a couple weeks before this Catching Fire. So, of course, yeah, they're trying to make a quick cash grab.
Yeah.
And this is something that goes straight to video on demand. This isn't going to get a theatrical run.
Darn.
But I remember seeing National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon in theaters.
Oh man.
And I
remember that
loved
too.
it. I absolutely loved it. So,
But like me, the Spartans, that movie is fucking awful. Scary Movie, they started to get awful towards the end.
I think after Scary Movie 2, that's when it got... Because I remember the thing about Scary Movie 1 and 2 is that they were raunchy, too. Like, a lot of the jokes were really raunchy. And then in the third one, after the Wayans brothers departed, they went with the PG-13 route, and they made the jokes less raunchy and just more surface level. A lot more, like, just dumb pop culture jokes.
Yeah.
And that's really all these are. It's just pop culture jokes. And I think that's one of the big differences. Like, you look at the first Scary Movie, and of course, they spoof a lot of horror movies, but they put in other jokes too. Like, they put in a lot of kind of irreverent stuff. Whereas with these movies, it's just pointless. Like, pop culture jokes that have, like, nothing to do with the plot. They just throw it in there.
Yeah.
It's almost like just watching a giant sketch of Mad TV or something.
A giant horrible sketch. Well, every sketch on Mad TV is terrible.
That's why I mentioned Mad TV. All right, well, let's go ahead and give you your drum roll. What do you think of the Starving Games?
2.
2 out of 10. Now, I should have went back and looked at your score for the other one. What was the other one?
I have it somewhere.
What was your score
on my
for
list right in front of me.
the last one we gave you, which was Vampires Suck?
I don't even know when the fuck I watched it.
It was,
It's Hansel Gretel.
that one's different.
There it is.
So you gave that a 3 out of 10. This gets a 2. So you think that Vampires Suck is better?
If you could say that, I understood more of it.
So that bumped it up a point.
Might have, yeah.
Do you think if you went back and watched the Hunger Games, that maybe your score would change, because then you'd be like, oh, okay, I get what they're going with for that.
No, because I already saw the dumb movie. So I already know
It's
what
already
to
been tainted.
expect. Yeah. It's already tainted.
So what do you think about, I mean, obviously you haven't seen the first Hunger Games. Do you have any interest in seeing the sequel, Catching Fire?
Kinda. But not before I see the first one.
Yeah, well, I think it'd be pretty bad if you'd be so lost you wouldn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I will mention that the Catching Fire, we're recording this on Wednesday, and Catching Fire does have an official score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's at a 93% with 71 reviews already counted.
Wow.
So apparently this one's a lot better than the first one. My biggest concern is that they get rid of that damn shaky camera. Well, the thing about the first one is there's a lot of violence. I mean, it's young kids fighting each other to the death, and they had to come up with some kind of creative ways to mask the violence. So they used this like crazy shaky camera so you couldn't tell what was going on, and it was dizzying. It was just a mess.
They also make for the battle royale on this bit, man. They kinda hit a nerve with me.
Yeah, I think they do. Well, there was at least one joke at the beginning where they mentioned something about battle royale. Do they come back to it later, or is
No. Thank God, no.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Any final thoughts on the Starving Games?
Nope. Don't watch it. It's stupid.
Well, if you do want to see it, it's on demand right now, but I probably would not suggest it because it's pretty bad. All right. Well, I think that will wrap it up. For all the latest film news and reviews, visit us at filmpulse.net. Send us an email at feedback@filmpulse.net. Follow us on Twitter at FilmPulseNet, and be sure to rate us on iTunes. We appreciate that very much. For filmpulse.net, my name is Adam. And we will see you on Monday.
See you later. Hey, I'm clicking on you.